Once again, you all are welcome in my artificial intelligence lecture series. Today, we are going to do a very important practical on machine learning. Here, we are going to learn what are the various platforms on which the machine learning can be performed, what are the online and the offline both kind of platforms which are available in the in the market where we can do the machine learning. And apart from that, we will also have an exposure how to prepare a data for a machine learning. This is a very important lab, and I'll request you all to watch till end and never miss the anything out of it. So let us start this video and we'll see how to prepare a data and what are the various machine learning platforms. So thank you, stay tuned. What we do, we start with the machine learning. This is the slides that I prepared earlier for a machine learning. So machine learning, in my first lecture I explained you how it is different from the artificial intelligence and deep learning. It comes under the umbrella of artificial intelligence. So what are the steps? Let me complete, uh, move it fast. So the very first thing is, what are the steps for machine learning? This you can check these points anywhere on any website. It is very common that in machine learning the very first step is data collection. And data collection means you have to, like, I'm giving you an example. Let us suppose in Titanic is one of the very famous data set available on the Kaggle. So data collection means, first of all you have to select the data. Select the data means select the database on which you want to apply machine learning. So select data is one first step. The second most important step is data preparation. This is very important, and most of the students and most of the experts, they missed this step, data preparation. Data preparation means, in data sometimes there are some ambiguity in terms of missing data or repetition or anything it may be. So in data preparation, we want to create a data in such a way it is not ambiguous, it should not be repeated, and no missing data. So that is what comes under the data preparation, and this is one of the most important step. And most of the time we miss this step. So today we will do how to do the data preparation, and then there is a choose model, train model, evaluate model, parameter tuning, and predict. We will come on these steps later on. Let us first of all focus on these two. And before starting this, let me explain one thing more. This is very important. See, machine learning, please mute your mics. Machine learning, in what are the various platforms, various platforms for doing machine learning, where we can do the machine learning of machine learning. So the very first one is Google. On Google, there is a compiler, what we call, or text. It is a kind of platform where we can do machine learning. That is Colab. On Colab, we can do the coding of machine learning. So this is one for Google. Another one is Microsoft. For Microsoft, it is IBM. Uh, for Microsoft, Cognitive Lab, and similarly, on Amazon, AWS. On AWS, you can do. Sorry, this Cognitive Lab is for IBM, and if one is AWZ, Amazon Web, AWS. AWS is Amazon Web Services. On this also we can do a machine learning. The very much difference between this Google and IBM to the AWS is that in Amazon Web Services, we have certain predetermined blocks, like for data calculation, data
सर आपकी
manipulation.
आवाज कट कट के आ रही है।
Okay, okay. Is it clear
सर आई
now?
गेस, यस सर क्लियर है। आई गेस उस टाइम ना सृष्टि का माइक ऑन था, सृष्टि चौधरी का, इसलिए हो
Okay,
रहा
okay,
था। अब क्लियर है।
okay, okay, no problem. On AWS, please see, in AWS there are certain blocks. So the coding in machine learning on AWS is very simple. You just have to connect the blocks and do the machine learning on AWS. And similarly, for Microsoft there is a Azure. Microsoft, I think you're all aware about this name, Azure. Azure is a platform where you can do the machine learning. Similarly, on Facebook it has its own platform for doing machine learning, and you are surprised to know that Facebook has its own platform for designing a machine learning. There are several machine learning algorithms which are running on Facebook. Like when you upload any picture or pic, it will identify who behind you, and it will show the name of you. This is all possible due to this machine learning and artificial intelligence on Facebook. So you can explore this also. This is also a platform. And apart from that, apart from these five mentioned here, there are some more. I think you heard about this name, Anaconda. Anaconda is one of the simulator, and it is found in two versions. One is Anaconda full and one is mini Anaconda. Both in mini Anaconda and on Anaconda, they have specific softwares inside it. It is a package basically which is consisting of several simulating tools. One is very famous, is what we call Jupyter, and another is there is Orange, and so many. So this is a offline tool basically, on which you can do the machine learning. So Jupyter, Orange, and there are several simulator. So many simulators are there. You can check it yourself also. So Anaconda is particularly for offline simulation. If you want to do offline simulation, and you may just wait. You may go for mini Anaconda also. The only difference between mini Anaconda and Anaconda, when you download it, Anaconda has a big size and it comes up with all the packages. But in mini Anaconda, it comes up with few packages, and if you require other, you can download it according to your requirement. This is the only difference between mini Anaconda and Anaconda. But if you are talking about the online platforms, so these are the online platforms. These are not only the online platform. Otherwise, there are so many other are present. But the Google is one of the best with Colab. This is one of the beautiful I am saying this is one of the efficient platform for machine learning. Another one is Cognitive Lab of IBM. This also I recommend this also, IBM Cognitive Lab. Why I recommend this Cognitive Lab? There is a difference between Google Colab and IBM. See, every time, most of the time, what will happen in Google Colab, this is a major drawback. In Google Colab, you have to every time you have to upload the data, because data on which you are working, once you uploaded it and start working on that, next time when you again log in, then you have to again upload the data, because it do not store the data on which you are working. So every time you have to again and again you have to upload it, just save the memory. Google has a policy, it do not retain the data for a long. So every time you have to upload the data. But this is the beauty of the IBM. In IBM Cognitive Lab, they provide once you upload the data, it creates a server for you, on which it create a kind of machine for you, with dedicated for you, on which you can perform the machine learning. The every CPU GPU is given inside the IBM itself. But in Google also, they also provide CPU and GPU, but IBM provide dedicated for you, so for your particular work. So that's why it is more and it is more handy. Once you upload, we will explore Google Colab in the upcoming sections. We will also explore IBM, AWS, and Microsoft. For that, you need to log in with your credit card and create one account on AWS and Microsoft. So But I'll try to, if I get some time, then we will explore machine learning on AWS and Microsoft. Both are, block based. These both are block based. So I will try to show it in the subsequent section. Otherwise, we will do most of the tasks on Google Colab and IBM. I will definitely explore you people how to, work on Google Colab and IBM. And Facebook, I'll also show you the interface where we do the machine learning and AI part in the upcoming sections. This is what where we can perform the machine learning. Apart from that, if somebody say they also can do machine learning on R or R Studio. R Studio is also one of the you know it is also comes offline with Anaconda or Mini Anaconda, or you can download it separately. Let me clear one thing here. There are two words. One is what we call console, and one is what we call studio. Most of the student get confused. What is this console and what is studio? See, every software, but for Python particularly, for Python or C++, you see there are two things are available in, or for your Android also, or for all other languages, for Java also. Two things are available. One is console, another one is studio. The difference between console and studio is that console is a simulator where you can just do the coding part or check it. But studio will give you other features also. It is a more GUI based. It also contains the console in itself. Apart from console, it has a debugger. It will everything for your errors. It is simultaneously shown on the screen, so you can correct your whatsoever error is there. You can correct it at a spot. Or in studio, they will help you with the additional features also. They provide you certain kinds of help or hints while when you are doing coding. Like you type like you type int, then it will show you the other data types like float, subfloat. So whatever data type you want, you can pick it. So this all it will help you at the different stages in studio particularly. Although this feature is also available in the console. So the major difference between console and the studio is, in console we just do the programming, compile it, and check the errors. But in studio, apart from compiling and everything, you can see the result also, everything on a single screen. So that is what we call studio. So in the market, R is available in the both the terms. Similarly, Jupyter has a console as well as the studio. Similarly, R has a itself its console and its studio. So should need not to be confused. Sometimes people get confused in studio and console. तो कंसोल भी आपके पास अवेलेबल है और स्टूडियो भी आपके पास अवेलेबल है. द मेजर डिफरेंस ये है कि कंसोल के अंदर एक आध काम ही होता है, आप कोडिंग वगैरह आपको अगली अगली स्क्रीन पे मूव करना होता है. बट स्टूडियो के अंदर ये GUI बेस्ड है और इसके अंदर सारी चीज़ें आप एक ही स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हो. मैं इसको भी एक्सप्लोर करके दिखाऊंगा आपको कि कंसोल और स्टूडियो में क्या फ़र्क है. जैसे एंड्रॉयड का भी, पहले एंड्रॉयड लैंग्वेज का कंपाइलर भी आता है, जिसे कंसोल भी कहते हैं, कंपाइलर भी कह देते हैं, और एक स्टूडियो भी आता है स्टूडियो के अंदर, जिसके अंदर सारी चीज़ें एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे होती है. सो आई थिंक आई एम अभी तक आपको यहाँ तक सबको समझ में आ गया होगा. इफ एनीबडी हैव एनी क्वेश्चन यू मे आस्क मी. एनीबडी, एनी क्वेश्चन? नो. यस यस. Okay, so let me move forward. Today, with the today's lecture, actually this is something that I want to explore you all. How these what are the various platforms available for the machine learning? This is very important. What are the online mode and what are the offline mode? This we will explore in the next class. In today class, what I will tell you, this is very important, and it is started from this step only. See, for a data preparation, there are several websites available. There are several websites available for the data preparation. Yeah, see this slide. The quantity and the quality of your data dictate how accurate your model is. Your machine is totally depending upon the data. If the data is so much accurate, definitely it will predict the result that the machine will predict is much accurate. So the whole thing is data, how accurate your data is. The outcome of this step is generally a representation of data which will we use in the training, because once the data is prepared, then we will use it for training and other purposes. So what are the sites from where you can you get the data for your research? These are the two very important sites. One is Kaggle, another is UCI. Now, what is the problem when you collect the data? I will tell you. I'll show you basically. You just see, if you go to the UCI website, UCI is a machine learning repository. It is mentioned here. When you go to the UCI machine learning repository, you come across these kind of several data sets available here, like wine, adult, iris. These are the data, heart disease, wine, and so many more. So I'll, if you came to know how to apply a machine learning on any one of the data, so in the with the same way you can apply it to the other data also. So let us first of all prepare a data. So for that I'll take this wine quality data set. So once you clicked on wines quality data set, you came across this kind of web page where there is a data folder and data set description. So first of all, I'll advise you all to just go through it, what kind of data set it is, and what what type of data it contains. So you just go through it, data set information, it is given here. The two data sets are related to red and white variants of the wine. So, and what are the attributes are there? Fixed acidity, volatility acidity, citric acid, residual sugar. These are attributes. Attributes means columns. These are the columns which are given in your data set, on which we have to, and further you can, what kind of machine we can form, like on the basis of pH, chloride, or some factors, you can decide whether this wine is good for health or not, or if it is good for health, how much quantity you should have to be take. Then you have to give a quality score between 0 to 10. So this is a kind of data. Okay, so right, so if I go to the data folder, you came across these kind of CSV files, and like this parent directory and CSV file. When you clicked the wine quality red CSV, when you clicked on this, it get downloaded. When we opened it, you see the data is it is opened in one column only. This is a major big problem. This I want to show you. See the data, it is all in the one column, and this kind of data, on this kind of data you even do not can work on Excel. So how to create a perfect Excel for this? This is the one of the today's uh, point. So how to convert this data into a usable form? Like I'll show you. No, I don't have. So I want to segregate it all the these things, and it is very difficult to separate these out. Now I will tell you the trick how to segregate it all these columns. For this, what you have to do, you just have to go to the column one and go to the data. And after going to the data, you have to do this text to columns. You have to click it, and on text to column delimited, you have to select, and you have to do the next. After that, what you have to do, you have to take, since this is a semicolon, so you take the semicolon. Once you click the semicolon, this will segregate it all the features. Now do the finish. Okay, let me do it again. First of all, you have to select first column, like this. Find it first. A column you have to select. Then you have to go to the text data. On data you have to go to the text to column. Once you clicked it, then delimited, you have to select minded not fixed with, then next, and here you have to select comma, semicolon also, and do the next. Once you do this and finish, see all the data is itself get segregated. This is one of the most important step. I think now if you are good in Excel also, you can do the some training on here also, like using the filter. You can find out the, if you do this if you apply a filter here, you can check the quality of if you want to see how much data is of 3, number 3. So you just select 3 and apply it. you will get a data for the number 3. I think this is very basic. The only thing is how to convert that data, and once 3, and if you want to go back, you just have to click on the filter again, you go back to previous data. So this how a data is prepared. And here you can check the ambiguous data also by using filters, whether there is some null values are there or not, or some missing values are there or not. You can clearly visualize it. See, so much data. This is a huge data, up to 1500, approximately 1600 attributes. So this is one thing. Another thing, this is one that I show you in the example. Another thing, sometimes what happen in UCI website, when you, because the data is given in, once I clicked it, it is given in CSV file. This In this we have a very little problem. But what happens if we let me take one more example. Let us take this wine example. So when we go to the data set, you see, this time if I click the yeah, this comes in Notepad. So I open it. See, this is the data. So anybody who see this data get confused what sort of data it is. So we have to select it, Control A, then Control C, and go to Excel, and I'm creating a new file. This is a new file. Now I pasted it, Control B. See, this is the data. This is the data that we have, but there is sometimes the indexes are not given. Indexes means the top headers are not given. So how to create a headers here? It is again a very difficult task. So how to do this? You just have to see here that wine data names, they are given separately. So once you clicked it, then wine data names are downloaded. Now you open it with again, and you have to Control A, Control C, copy and paste, copy and move here and paste it on the other sheet first. Let me check what are the data. Yes, these are the datas 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 13. So these are the 13 parameter that I want to pasted here to prepare my data. Then only I can do the machine learning now. So how to paste it here? This is again a trick. What you have to do, you go to the sheet number 2, just select the options, Control C, paste it anywhere, Control V, just segregate it out. And while pasting, mind it, you have to take the transpose. Transpose is there. This is a transpose. Transpose means converting row into column. So this how the rows get converted into column. Now select this, Control C, and come back to the sheet number 1. But first of all, you have to create a space. For that, you have to select the first, go to insert, and in insert, go to insert, go to home and select this insert, and select insert a row. This is a row, and then you paste what. Then you have to select again, you have to select this again, the 13 parameters, Control C, and you have to come back to the sheet number 1 and paste it over here. So this is how you get an header on the, because if you don't have the data in a proper format, you can't do machine learning on that. So most of the time on Kaggle, sometimes the data is given to you properly, which you can use directly because it is already prepared. But from UCI, from where most of us pick the data, it is not in the direct usable form. So you have to convert this data first of all into the usable form on which you can apply the machine learning easily. So once the data is prepared, then we have to use the machine learning on it, the different algorithms, what are the algorithms, how they are applied. We will see it in the next lecture. But in today's lecture, we covered how to prepare a data for a machine learning. So now, till now, if anybody have any problem, you may ask me. Yes, anybody? Okay, otherwise I'll ask Mohammad Asif. Is it clear how to prepare a data?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you may get little bit confused how to create it because I did it the steps fast. No worry, I'll create a video and put across on your WhatsApp group. You can see it and adopt it properly. Now the home task is one of the tasks that I want to give you all is you have to go to the UCI website and you just have to explore all the data. There are so many data sets. These are the some, but there are so many data sets. You just go to the data set like breast cancer, heart disease, wine quantity, bank marketing, Facebook large page network, amphibians. Oh, so many data sets are there. You just have to go to that. You just have to for like forest fires. If you go to that, you just have to read the attributes and everything. Then you have to download the data, and then you have to prepare it. You have to prepare the data. uh, like here the CSV itself is given, but names are separately given. So you have to put the names on the names are already given. Okay, it is also placed, but sometimes it is not placed. So this is a great help to do how to prepare a data. So I'll advise everybody to make a data on iris. We will see in iris dataset iris how it is given. Yeah, iris data is separately given and names. Yes, this is the home task that I give to all of you. You just have to prepare a iris data and one adult data. This adult data you have to prepare because this is also, yes, this is also given in, yes, in uh, what we call this notepad file, notepad format. So I'll advise you all to just prepare a data for iris as well as adult. So you do this and create the data set and submit it in the before the next class to the I'll create one assignment on which you have to upload the prepared data set with iris and this adult data set. Otherwise you can choose any other also if you like, but I want everybody should have to be come up with the data, right? And after that what we do, we will see Colab also here. See Google Colab, for that it want your sign in. Since I signed it with my email ID, so it is not required for me. But I'll do lot of work on this. So some of my projects are already here, like Keras. Yes, these are all are my previous files on which I work. But this will not work here because the data is not right now available in this. So I do the TensorFlow. I did the time and place practice. So many practice I did earlier. So the web scraping. This is web scraping. I'll open this file. The Jupyter, the this Google Colab also work like a Jupyter notebook. All the data whatsoever you once, the commands are there, no issue, the commands always are there, but the data set is not there. So how to upload the data, how to do the uh, machine learning on this, we will see it later on. But I'll advise you all to just create a sign in on Google Colab. Just to type Google Colab, and on Google Colab you must have to sign in before the next class, because on the next lab we will do certain coding on Google Colab. Similarly, there is IBM Cognitive Lab, Cognitive Cognitive Class and Lab, Cognitive Class भी है, Cognitive Lab भी है, Cognitive Class Lab. See, it is an IBM tool, Cognitive Lab. So once you click that on this, it is for particularly for AI or machine learning, Cognitive Lab. And you have to again, you have to sign in with your login. So you just create it. I'll send it with my Google account. See, this is a Cognitive Colab. I opened it after a long time. It has Jupyter Lab, R Studio, all the uh, most of the platforms are available here. So you just have to go to my data, that is my files. I already created many here, so it is opening. Just wait. Your server is starting up. You will be directed automatically when it is ready for you. Okay. So these are the samples. Okay. Let me go to the home first and Jupyter Lab. If I clicked on the Jupyter Lab, yes, because on machine learning we do most of the tasks on the Jupyter Lab. So once I click machine, it will take some time to get loaded. Yes, now Jupyter Lab is opened. Jupyter file is opened. See, it will give you several consoles and notebook. You can Apache, those who are working in Apache, Julia, R Shift, so many tools are there. But since I am working in Python or notebook, so I created this Python notebook here, or a Jupyter notebook here. See I did so many experiments on this. So these all are my experiments. All the datas are already available. Like on air quality, I created this. Once I clicked on this, this is opened. See, this is how I worked on this. We will explore this thing later on, but this is how it is different from Google Colab. In Google Colab, the all the your files are there. All your files are there, like here machine learning exam, all the things that I did in the past, all are available here, but it do not contain the runtime data. But here that my data is also stored. Definitely there is some capacity is given to you. Beyond that you have to pay, but some free slot is given to you. You can do much on this. So this is how these two platforms are different. Similarly, if we if we see Azure, Microsoft, Microsoft Azure, yeah, this is for this you have to create an account. For creating an account, you have to put your credit card to get 1 month. They will give you some credit. But the major drawback with the Microsoft Azure and AWS is sometimes we create a free account, and unfortunately we forget to switch off the machine, because it's a kind of machine, and you are and you logged out before stopping that server. So it will consume, the bill is generated according to your server, the time for which your service is getting on. So sometimes what will happen, your free slot get expired soon, and they will charge you. So that is why I most of the time, and most of the time this is the problem that I faced with many of my students. They created an account and forget to switch it off. So they then the Microsoft team will give a bill to them. This you have to pay. So be careful while working with the Microsoft Azure. Definitely for to explore, it is a good tool, but not for for your own practice. You just do the practice, but try to use it very carefully. Particularly Azure, this is how it looks like, and you have to just plug and play. This is very easy to do the machine learning on Azure. And similarly, I told you one, AWS, AWS, Amazon Web Services. See, when I type AWS, they immediately tell me what how it is different from AWS is different from Azure. So once you clicked it, it is a cloud computing services. I think most of you have, those who are working in the field of this cloud, they must know about this AWS. So once you clicked it, they also give you free. See here, AR, VR, AWS, blockchain, database, containers, compute. Machine learning is also, I think, one of the part we will see. Mobile networking, security, satellite, robotics, quantum. Machine learning is also one of the part. So you can explore it, but for that you have to you see machine learning. Machine learning is also one of the part. For that you have to create an account on AWS. But again, be pretty sure if the server get on, they will charge you with a very hefty amount. So be careful while working on Amazon Web Services and Azure. We will, for the sake of getting experience, we definitely use it once or twice in the upcoming sections. Now, one thing is more Facebook AI or machine learning. It has one his own platform for doing, and very few people know about this. How to do a machine learning on Facebook. Let me open this. See this machine learning application. So it has its own platform where you can do the coding, and it is one of the very important and the latest thing on through which you can do a coding on the Facebook AI. This is for this you have to see Facebook carriers. There is an opening for the machine learning also. So anyhow, this is it has the main thing is Facebook also have one of the platform where you can do the machine learning. So these all are the online platforms. You need not to be need any kind of software downloading on your machine, because nowadays it is an internet. Internet is widely available to all of you, so you can easily do all the things on online. There is no need to keep the things, the software, the heavy software on your laptops. So I advise you all to do the coding on this. But sometimes what will happen, the student want to explore this thing also. Student want to explore these tools like Anaconda, Jupyter. I do not prefer these. Earlier I prefer, because earlier internet speed was slow, but nowadays since broadband connections are there and speed are very good, so you can do everything on online rather than to go for offline. But still, if some of you are you don't have access to a good uh, quality internet, you can download Anaconda or mini Anaconda in your system. And one very important difference between these offline services and online services is that sometimes you need some package. These online platforms, they already included most of the packages which is generally used. But for offline packages like Jupyter, Anaconda, you have to install every time through pip or through the search. You have to download every time every package that is needed at the later stage. But for online it is very easy, because for offline, first of all you have to search whether that package is available offline or not. If it is not present offline, then again it is a problem. But if it is, but for the online, once it is needed, the online suggestion all immediately gives you a hint that this package is required for this particular task. So with a single click you can download that package. So I hope आप लोगों को ये समझ में आ गया होगा कि there are several packages on which you can do machine learning, and I want everybody should explore all these packages before the next class, because in the next class what we do, the data that you prepared, we will do the certain commands on the data analytics command to clean that data. The first step is to prepare data, another step is cleaning data. So anybody have any question till now? You may ask me. Anybody? Okay. When I put this video on the YouTube now, where I told the many people how to prepare a data, I got a very huge good response on the video. Many people like that video because this is something they don't know how to prepare a data. Then one of my subscriber asked me one question, that uh, whether it is needed to convert into CSV file and then do the machine learning on that, or can we take this UCI file directly? So my answer to this is, it is not necessary to always to prepare to create a CSV file. But if you create a CSV file, then it is easy to do other machine learning tasks on it. Otherwise, sometimes what will happen, the headers get missed, or it is not correctly taken. So it saves our lot of time if you have this kind of CSV prepared with you. It saves your time, and you can do the machine learning on this data very easily. Although the same steps you can done with the help of the coding in the machine learning itself, which increasing coding part in the machine learning. Just to avoid that, what I advise you all to, you prepare all of this data before applying machine learning on it. So anyhow, any problem? Rahul, कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हो आप लोग? निश्चल, निधि,
No,
सर
sir, clear है.
one
Explore
एक एक
doubt.
करके, एक एक करके. हाँ राहुल.
सर
Yes, sir, मैं कह रहा हूँ सर क्लियर है, बाकी और इन टूल्स को एक्सप्लोर करेंगे.
राइट. हाँ निश्चल.
सर कौन सा टूल हम लोग यूज करेंगे, लाइक फर्दर फ्यूचर में
देखो,
कौन सा हम यूज
अब
करेंगे अभी?
हम अधिकतर काम करेंगे कॉग्निटिव लैब पे, लेकिन मैं आपको गूगल
ओके
को लैब पे भी काम करके दिखाऊंगा. हम गूगल को लैब और कॉग्निटिव लैब दोनों को एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. यही वर्सेटाइल है जो कि मार्केट के अंदर यूज हो रहे हैं. राहुल क्या बोल रहा था?
ओके
ऑरेंज.
सर.
राहुल क्या कर रहा था? ऑरेंज.
नो मैं कह रहा था सर समझ आ गया, बाकी और एक्सप्लोर करेंगे इनको.
ओके. एक ऑरेंज भी टूल आता है वैसे, जो एनाकोंडा है ना. हाँ
सर मैंने इस पे जुपिटर पे काम किया था पहले मशीन लर्निंग में.
राइट राइट.
तो
तुमने
should I
जुपिटर पे
use?
किया?
यस सर.
तुमने जो जुपिटर पे काम किया था ना, तो सेम गूगल कोलैब ही है, जुपिटर ही है. अगर ध्यान से देखोगे सारी जुपिटर फाइलें ही हैं. गूगल कोलैब पे भी जुपिटर खुलती है, और ये कॉग्निटिव लैब पे भी ये जुपिटर ही है. देखो ध्यान से, ये देखो, अगर ध्यान से देखो.
हाँ सर सेम ही है, मैंने देखा कि सेम ही उसका एकदम ऐसा ही इंटरफेस है, बिल्कुल सेम ही.
हाँ.
ग्रीन
So
बार
anyhow,
और बार जो होते हैं.
हाँ, तो आप डोंट वरी, जुपिटर ही है वो. बेसिकली ये ऑनलाइन जुपिटर है जिसके ऊपर हम इजीली काम कर सकते हैं.
ओके सर.
ठीक है. एनी हाउ, एनीबडी, किसी और को? अच्छा, कोई एक था ना जो डाटा एनालिसिस करता था, किसी किया था? निश्चल ने किया था. निश्चल, तुमने किस पे किया डाटा एनालिसिस?
सर एक्चुअली एक पे नहीं, कहीं पे किया, मतलब सास पे, पाइथन पे, आर पे. तो
ओके, पाइथन और R पे, right.
टैबलू ऑब्वियसली, टैबलू भी.
टैबलू
बट
पे भी किया.
ज्यादातर कंफर्टेबल मैं आर पे हूँ. बट सर
हाँ,
लेकिन
R.
अगर आप कॉग्निटिव लैब और ये सिखाओगे तो सर वो भी नया एक्सपोजर है, कुछ नया मिल जाएगा सीखने को.
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. ये खैर आपके लिए सब कुछ नया होगा. बट
Yes, sir.
आई रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल टू प्रिपेयर these two data set. One is wine, and another one is adult data set. You all have to prepare it. मैं आज ही अभी एक टैब जनरेट कर दूंगा. On that tab you have to upload the prepared data sheet कि आपने ये प्रिपेयर कर लिया, और आप उसके अंदर भेज देंगे. राइट. आज की लैब में बस इतना ही है. ये हमारा सेकंड एक्सपेरिमेंट है. इस एक्सपेरिमेंट का नाम होगा डाटा प्रिपरेशन, हाउ टू प्रिपेयर डाटा फॉर मशीन लर्निंग.
ओके सर.
ओके.
ओके सर.
सो आज की क्लास को हम यहीं पे वाइंड अप कर रहे हैं. इफ एनीबॉडी हैव